Bum, bum, ba, 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 bum, bum, ba, 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 bum, bum, ba, 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 bum. Hey YouTube, okay, so this is issue 3 of the Build Millennium Falcon model kit. This issue will let me finish my cockpit, and like always I'll go over first of all what's in the magazine and then show you the model pieces and how I put them together. So like always, we have this photo of the Millennium Falcon. I really think that they're going to have 100 issues of the Millennium Falcon, just photos from different angles, and that's probably going to get a little old, but you know, what can you do? So, like always, we have the table of contents. Nothing really interesting there, but for the first time now, we're looking at a different classification of ship than the Millennium Falcon. We're kind of expanding on the universe a bit. We're talking about the INCOM T-65 X-Wing Starfighter, the vessel that the Rebel Alliance utilized extensively to defeat the evil empire in the films. Some facts about the X-Wing fighter and how it has hyperdrive and different power plant options, engines, whatnot. So it has a top speed of 1,050 kilometers in atmosphere, so it's actually as fast as the Millennium Falcon. Kind of interesting. I would not have guessed that. So you are actually in an X-Wing, you are comparable to the Millennium Falcon in atmosphere, so that's cool. Obviously, though, the hyperdrive is only a class 1. For some reason, someone could probably put that down in the comments below. I don't quite understand how, where if your class is lower, that's better. So, for example, the Millennium Falcon upgraded its hyperdrive from a 1.0 to a 0.5, and I don't know what a 0.5 hyperdrive really means. But anyway, so more information about the X-Wing and how Red Squadron utilized the X-Wings to win the first Battle of Yavin and defeat the Death Star. So stuff about Luke Skywalker, his skills as a pilot. Alright, so very interesting stuff here. Then we go to this Guide to the Galaxy section where we talk about Bespin, continuing on our course here. Last time we talked about Hoth, so this time obviously we're going to talk about Bespin. So interesting thing here, it says the sun is Bespin. Alright, I don't quite, or maybe it just means suns. They don't give names to the suns per se. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. But the planet Bespin has mini moons apparently, because we have Haggard, Drudana, and plus more. So it lists 3 moons, but then shows images of 3 moons, but then it just says plus more. So I assume there's several moons around the planet Bespin. It's talking about the nearby planet of Hoth. As you know, it's somewhere between the asteroid belt, and Hoth is the planet Bespin. Talking about Cloud City, a little bit about Lando Calrissian, his control of the city, some basic breakdowns of what the Cloud City and planet of Bespin are known for. They're obviously Tiberian gas, whatever that's useful for. I believe, if I remember correctly when I read this, it's some sort of coolant for heavy lasers, so that's kind of cool. We see this matte painting of Cloud City. I found out actually that some of these are models and some of these are matte paintings. This image of the Han Solo frozen carbonite, that's really cool. I always thought that was one of the coolest props in film. It talks about a carbon freezing process, how that all works out. The Bespin rescue, where Lando actually saves Luke Skywalker as he's dangling from his one good hand. So then we have some information, a technical readout, secrets of spaceflight, the rear cockpit controls of the Millennium Falcon, talking about how they actually built the Millennium Falcon. They used airplane parts, actually, I found out. That's interesting because apparently airplane parts you pay by the pound, so they thought those looked perfect for the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon, and they were able to get a lot of parts relatively cheap. So that's cool. Some stuff about dressing the cockpit, like I said, airplane parts, stuff about that. And then we have this technical readout of the rear controls where it breaks down what everything is. Obviously this is the nav computer. Nav computers are very important. As Han Solo said, you don't want to fly into a black hole or a neutron star. So these actually plot a course where you're not going to be flying through stellar bodies while you're in hyperspace. So that's cool. So, you know, many sci-fi shows, they always have different methodologies for explaining faster than light travel, but hyperspace never really gets explained that well, in my opinion. Maybe someone out there is a lot more knowledgeable about the Star Wars universe than me, and can explain hyperdrive down in the comments below. So I would love that too, you know, if you could comment on that. So there's that. So we have hatch control, switches, subspace engine status. What is this? Fuel management systems, environmental controls. All these controls obviously accessible from the back of the cockpit. So obviously you can pretty much control the ship just from that one little space on the ship. And then we actually break down into the instructions on how we're going to assemble our pieces today. So again, I got another pack of parts. So let's try zooming in a little bit on that. Actually, it looked better when I zoomed out. So there's these pack of parts. As you can see, another whole piece, the doorway to the cockpit, an adhesive sticker that goes on there, some seats, some yokes, all that, and some throttle control. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting that together, and I'll let you see what that looks like. The first piece here is this extra new hull plating piece. So this is obviously going to go something like that and form up into one of the airlocks or the ramp section. Right now it's very loose, it doesn't connect together, so it'll actually attach to the framing piece. But when it's all said and done, this is going to be how big it is. So that's cool. And I assume that this goes something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll have to see what exactly the design specifications say. Alright, so there's that. We have this this entry into the cockpit, and we have this adhesive sticker. I'm going to pull this apart, and like always, be very careful when I actually apply this into the actual piece, because like I said, you only get one shot at this, so you make it a good one. Alright, this one's kind of difficult, but there we go. When you're all said and done, it should look something like that. Okay, cool. Alright, so great. Now I have this back piece for the cockpit where the lights will actually shine through, and I have my entry where I've been waiting for this. So I'm just going to push this in, locks into place, make it nice and flush like that. Alright, and the next step is going to be to attach this decal sticker. So, you know, this is becoming a bit of a normal thing for me, attaching these stickers. This one, I don't have very much nail here, so I'm having a bit of a struggle. So it's don't chew your nails if you're a modeler, because you need those. You need those for fine motor control. Gosh, dang it! All right, there we go. So now here it is. Here it is. I'm going to try to apply this very carefully, making sure that the holes line up as best as I can. All right. So there we go. Very nice. That's what it looks like. Very cool. All right. So let's see how that it looks like next. So I have these chairs, these are the rear seats, so I'm just going to take this floor piece to the cockpit and attach those. Eventually I'll glue them in place, but right now they just click into the spot and they look good. I'm kind of upset about the detail in the back. I would have hoped that they would have made it a full piece, but they only decorated the front. I guess that's all you see, but still, for a model kit this expensive, I think it should stand on its own as a chair and not look bad. Alright, so there we go. Then I have the front seats. Okay, here's Han's seat. Goes here. Great. And the seat that belongs to Chewbacca. They talk about how this has actually been modified to give him more foot space. Peter Mayhew is like 7 feet tall, the guy who played, I think he's actually 7'2", the guy who played Chewbacca. But as you can see, they're actually positioned the same, so I guess that's not really true. Anyway, so there's that. Great. So then I'm going to take this piece right here and click it into place. And it looks something like that. Great. Okay. And then the last piece of the cockpit that I have to show you is this piece right here. We need to put this together last time. So try putting this together now. So we see we have these, let's see if I can focus a little bit. So you can see these little two pegs here. They go right in these holes. So let's see how those line up. There we go. All said and done. Looks pretty good. Great. So that's the cockpit piece, what we have done so far. Put that to the side. So now we have these yoke pieces. Alright, so we're going to try using those and attach those where they belong, which is right here. Again, this is something we'll probably have to glue in eventually. Okay, kind of goes in snug. Again, for extra support, I don't want to take this apart later, so I'll probably glue that into place. So there's that. And I have one more here. So when Chewie has to control the Millennium Falcon, he has controls. Alright, those just slide right into place, very straightforward. Great, those look awesome. So the last piece that I'm working with is this throttle piece. So it's the smallest piece I've used so far in this model kit. Let's see if I can get it in this hole. I wish I had some tweezers or something. Alright, so there's that. That's definitely going to have to get glued into place because that is really loose. It's just dangling in there. And let's put the other one in. Should have maybe put these in first. Let's pull out the yoke. One disadvantage to having big hands is doing small stuff like this. So, like I said, those are really loose right now, so I'm definitely going to have to glue those into place eventually. I'll do that in the next video or subsequent videos. But all said and done, that's the cockpit. Going to glue some pieces into place to make it nice and strong, but that's pretty much what it looks like. Now I could paint this area right here, but I think I'm going to leave it as is for now because I don't think it's going to be really high detail show. Once I get it all together, you're going to probably not see it at all. So I'll leave that like that. So the last page more instructions and some stuff about actually shooting the Falcon. I don't know if you could see this. I'll try to zoom in a little bit. But as you can see, Peter Mayhew's feet actually hang over the side down below because Chewbacca is so tall. Kind of interesting. And we see this diagram of an actual model that they used on the original Millennium Falcon prop piece. Okay, so next issue, looks like I'm going to get some more framing pieces and another cockpit piece. So there's that. So, guys, please comment down below if you like these videos or you want to see something different with them. I would also like you to like and subscribe, so that way I can build the channel a bit and continue giving you guys good information like this. You know, I'll be doing a number of different segments in the future, but right now I'm kind of, you know, these videos are easy for me to do and they're also fun, so I like doing them. Great. Take care, YouTube.